A little birdie told me you want to learn about squirting. Hello everybody, it's Dr. Ruth here. For years I've been answering your questions about sex, love and intimacy. One topic that comes up again and again is female ejaculation, or squirting. This is a natural and pleasurable experience. We're going to dive right in, from the G-spot to clitoral stimulation. Remember, everyone is different. So, are you ready to learn? Then let's get started. First things first, let's talk about the elusive G-spot. The G-spot is like that cozy little cafe down a hidden alleyway, a delightful discovery. It's located on the front wall of the vagina, about 2 to 3 inches in. Imagine feeling for a slightly raised, ridged area like the roof of your mouth. Explore with your fingers or a toy if that feels more comfortable. Use your index finger and try making a come hither motion. Be patient, gentle, and communicate with your partner. Remember, this is a journey of exploration, not a race to the finish line. Now, once you've found the G-spot, it's time to start stimulating it. You can use your fingers, a toy, or even your penis to gently rub, press, or massage the area. Some women prefer a light touch, while others like it a little more intense. Experiment with different types of pressure and speed to see what feels best for your partner. You can try circular motions, a come-hither motion, or even a gentle tapping. Remember, communication is key here. Encourage your partner to tell you what feels good and what doesn't. You might even want to try using a water-based lubricant to enhance the sensation. And don't be afraid to get creative. Try different positions, use pillows for support, and explore other erogenous zones at the same time. The more you experiment and communicate, the better you'll become at finding what works for both of you. Now let's talk about the clitoris, the star of the show. This little bundle of nerves is incredibly sensitive and plays a major role in female pleasure. In fact, for many women, clitoral stimulation is essential for achieving orgasm. Now, the clitoris is located at the top of the vulva, where the inner labia meet. It's covered by a small hood of skin, kind of like a tiny little blanket. You can stimulate the clitoris directly, or you can try stimulating the area around it, which is also very sensitive. When it comes to clitoral stimulation, there are so many different techniques you can try. You can use your fingers, your tongue, or even sex toys to explore what feels good for your partner. Remember, communication is key. Encourage your partner to tell you what feels good and what doesn't. Pay attention to her body language and adjust your touch accordingly. Now, let's talk about some specific techniques for clitoral stimulation. One technique is to use your fingers to gently stroke the clitoris from side to side or up and down. You can also try using your tongue to lick or suck on the clitoris. Another technique is to use your fingers to gently rub the area around the clitoris, including the labia. Experiment with different types of pressure and speed to see what feels best for your partner. You can also try using a water-based lubricant to enhance the sensation. And don't be afraid to get creative. Try using a feather, a silk scarf, or even an ice cube to stimulate the clitoris. The possibilities are endless. Just remember to be gentle, listen to your partner, and have fun exploring. So you've learned about the G-spot and you've learned about the clitoris. Good for you. But listen to me, my darlings, the real fun starts when you put them together. We're talking about blended orgasms, a symphony of pleasure. Imagine a delicious cake. The G-spot is the rich base. The clitoris is the sweet frosting. Together they create something extraordinary. Now let's talk technique. Stimulate the clitoris externally while penetrating the G-spot. Use fingers, a sex toy, or even your penis. Try positions like spooning for dual stimulation. Don't forget about toys. Look for curved shafts for G-spot stimulation. Relax, have fun, and let your bodies guide you. Oh, sex toys. Don't be shy, my darlings. Toys are not something to be ashamed of. They are simply tools to enhance your pleasure. Using them doesn't mean you're not satisfied with your partner. It just means you're open to exploring new avenues of sensation. The same goes for sex. Sometimes you need a specific tool for a specific job. And believe me, there's a toy out there for everyone and every desire. Now, when it comes to making her squirt, certain toys can be particularly helpful. Vibrators are fantastic for stimulating the G-spot and clitoris. Another great option is a G-spot wand. For external stimulation, try a clitoral vibrator. And don't forget about lubricants. Explore the wonderful world of sex toys and discover a new level of intimacy. Fingers, the original sex toy and still one of the best. But let's be honest, not all fingering is created equal. It's about finesse, precision, and knowing how to use those magical digits. Pay attention to your nails, keep them short and smooth, and warm those hands up before you dive in. Find her rhythm, start slowly, and explore. Pay attention to her reactions, they are your guide. Now, let's talk about those erogenous zones. We know the clitoris is a powerhouse of pleasure, but don't neglect the G-spot. Try using 1 or 2 fingers to gently massage the G-spot in a come-hither motion. And don't forget about the clitoris. Use your thumb or another finger to gently stimulate it while you're working your magic on the G-spot. With a little practice and a lot of love, you'll become a fingering maestro in no time. So you want to please your partner with oral sex, you say? Good for you! It's a wonderful way to be intimate. Now don't get nervous. It's all about making her feel good. You're down there exploring, and trust me, she wants you to enjoy it too. Don't be afraid to use your hands a little, caress her thighs, gently touch her clitoris. Remember, communication is key, darling. Ask her what feels good, what she likes. A little moan can go a long way in telling you you're on the right track. And don't rush. This isn't a race. Take your time, savor the moment, and let the pleasure build. Remember, everyone's body is different, so what works for one woman might not work for another. Be attuned to her responses, and don't be afraid to experiment a little. The most important thing is to be present, be passionate, and enjoy the intimacy. Now, let's talk technique, shall we? Think of your tongue like an artist's brush. You're creating a masterpiece on her canvas. You can try light teasing licks or a more direct rhythmic approach. Some women love a little vibration, so you can try fluttering your tongue or even using your breath. Don't forget about the clitoris. That little button is packed with nerve endings and is often the key to her pleasure. You can lick it directly, circle around it, or even just tease it with your breath. Experiment and see what she responds to. Remember, practice makes perfect, so don't be afraid to explore and find what works for both of you. And always, always remember to use protection when necessary. We want everyone to be safe and healthy while they're exploring their sexuality. The most important thing is to be respectful, attentive, and to enjoy the journey together. Now, let's talk about something just as important as any technique: communication, darling. You see, the bedroom is no place for shyness. You have to talk to each other, express your desires, your needs, your fantasies. Don't be afraid to tell her what you want, but more importantly, listen to what she wants. Ask her how she's feeling, what she enjoys, what she'd like you to do. And really listen to her responses. A moan, a sigh, a slight shift in her body. These are all ways she's communicating with you. Don't be afraid to ask questions like, does that feel good? Or do you want more of this? Trust me, a little communication can go a long way in enhancing your intimacy and pleasure. And remember, communication isn't just about what happens in the bedroom. It's about creating a safe and open space for both of you to explore your sexuality together. Talk to each other about your fantasies, your boundaries, your fears. Share your desires, your turn-ons, and even your turn-offs. The more you communicate, the more comfortable and confident you'll both feel in exploring your intimacy. Remember, a healthy sex life is built on trust, respect, and open communication. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable with each other, to share your innermost thoughts and desires. That's how you build a strong, passionate, and fulfilling connection. And trust me, the rewards are well worth the effort. Now let's talk about anticipation, darling, because a little anticipation can go a long, long way in the bedroom. It's like slowly unwrapping a present, savoring every moment before the grand reveal. Don't just jump right into the main event, take your time, build the excitement, create a sensual experience. Start with a romantic atmosphere, dim the lights, light some candles, put on some sensual music. Set the mood for lovemaking, create an ambience that whispers intimacy. A little bit of effort goes a long way in building anticipation. Now, once you've set the stage, it's time to tease and tantalize. Start with a sensual massage, explore each other's bodies slowly, lingering on erogenous zones, whisper sweet nothings in her ear, compliment her body, tell her how much you desire her. Remember, the key is to delay gratification, to build the tension slowly and deliciously. Give her longing glances, brush your lips against her skin, let her feel the heat of your body without giving in too soon. The longer the anticipation builds, the more explosive the release will be. You know, my darlings, sex is not just about the physical, it's about the emotional and mental too. And what better way to connect all three than with the power of breath? Breathing deeply during intimacy isn't just about staying oxygenated, it's about letting go, about surrendering to the pleasure. When you breathe deeply, you invite relaxation, you ease tension, and you open yourself up to more intense sensations. Think of it like this: when you hold your breath, you hold back your pleasure. But when you breathe deeply, you allow the pleasure to flow through you like a wave. And trust me, those waves can be powerful. So encourage your partner to breathe with you. Explore different rhythms, different depths. You might be surprised at the intensity it can bring to your lovemaking. Now, when I talk about breathing, I don't just mean gasping for air, darlings. It's about conscious, controlled breathing. Think of it like a dance where your breaths intertwine and move together. Inhale slowly and deeply as you caress, as you kiss, as you explore each other's bodies. And as you exhale, let go of any stress, any worries, and just be present in the moment. When you synchronize your breathing with your partner, you create a powerful connection. It's like your bodies are speaking the same language, the language of pleasure. So don't underestimate the power of a deep breath, my darlings. It can make all the difference in the bedroom. Now let's talk about those pelvic floor muscles, darlings. Yes, those muscles. You know, the ones you use to stop yourself from peeing? Those are the very same muscles that can enhance your orgasms and make them absolutely mind-blowing. Kegel exercises are like weightlifting for your pelvic floor. They strengthen those muscles, giving you more control and sensitivity during intimacy. And trust me, a strong pelvic floor is a happy pelvic floor. Imagine being able to give your partner those little squeezes, those pulsating sensations that will drive them wild. That's the power of Kegels. And the best part is, you can do them anywhere, anytime. So ladies, start incorporating Kegels into your daily routine. You'll thank me later. And you know what, darlings? Kegels aren't just for the ladies. Men, listen up. Strengthening your pelvic floor muscles can help you last longer in bed, improve bladder control, and even enhance your orgasms. It's like having a secret weapon in the bedroom. And the best part is, no one has to know you're doing them. You can do them while you're sitting at your desk, watching television, or even waiting in line at the grocery store. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, Dr. Ruth, how do I even find these muscles? Well, it's like stopping your pee midstream. Those are the muscles you want to work. So don't be shy, darlings. Start those Kegels today and unlock a whole new level of pleasure. Now, let's talk about setting the mood for love, darlings. And what better way to do that than with a sensual massage? It's the perfect way to melt away stress, ignite passion, and create a deeply intimate connection. But remember, this isn't about rushing to the finish line. It's about savoring every touch, every caress, every moment. Start by dimming the lights, lighting some candles, and putting on some relaxing music. Choose a massage oil or lotion that smells divine and feels luxurious on the skin. Warm it up in your hands before you begin and use long flowing strokes to soothe and relax your partner's muscles. Remember, communication is key. Ask your partner what feels good and encourage them to do the same for you. The more you communicate, the more pleasurable the experience will be for both of you. As the massage progresses, darlings, don't be afraid to explore different areas of the body. Pay attention to those erogenous zones like the neck, the ears, the inner thighs. A gentle touch in these areas can send shivers down your partner's spine. Use your fingertips, your knuckles, even your palms to create different sensations. Experiment with pressure, speed, and rhythm. The key is to be present in the moment and respond to your partner's cues. Remember, a sensual massage is about building anticipation, about creating a slow burn that leads to something truly magical. So take your time, enjoy the journey, and let the passion unfold naturally. And who knows, darlings, that massage might just lead to something even more exciting. So, you want to add some spice to the bedroom, darling? Well, let me tell you, a little temperature play can go a long way. It's about bringing those nerve endings to life, making them tingle and throb. Think about it. A warm washcloth trailing down your lover's back, or a cool ice cube teasing their sensitive spots. It's about that delicious contrast, that unexpected sensation that makes them gasp. And you know what? It doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need fancy equipment, just a little imagination. A warm massage oil, a chilled glass, even a silk scarf can create incredible sensations. The key is to be playful, my dears. Start slow, see what your partner enjoys, and don't be afraid to experiment. Remember, communication is key, so talk to each other and explore those sensual boundaries together. Now, when it comes to temperature play, safety comes first and foremost. We want pleasure, not pain, darling. That means being mindful of extreme temperatures, especially on delicate areas. Never, and I mean never, apply ice directly to the skin for too long. You can cause a burn that way, and that's not what we're aiming for. Always wrap it in a cloth or use it for short, teasing touches. And when it comes to heated toys or warm liquids, test the temperature first. You want it to be pleasantly warm, not scalding hot. Remember, this is about pleasure, not punishment. So be sensible, use your common sense, and enjoy the exploration. A little temperature play can add a whole new dimension to your lovemaking, making it exciting and unforgettable. Now, let's talk about spicing things up in the bedroom. And I don't just mean with feathers and whips, although those can be fun too. I'm talking about role play, darling. Role play is a fantastic way to explore your fantasies, to become someone else for a night, and to add that element of excitement and novelty to your relationship. It's about stepping outside your comfort zones together and creating a little erotic theater. And the best part? It can be anything you both desire. Maybe you fantasize about being a naughty schoolgirl or a seductive librarian. Maybe your partner wants to be a rugged construction worker or a domineering CEO. The possibilities are endless. The key is to communicate, to talk about your fantasies openly and honestly. Remember, there's no shame in desire, and sharing your fantasies can bring you closer together and lead to incredible intimacy. So how do you bring role play to life? Well, it's all about setting the stage, creating an atmosphere that sparks imagination and allows you both to truly embody your characters. Start with costumes. It doesn't have to be elaborate. Even a simple prop like a hat, a tie, or a pair of glasses can transform you into someone else. And don't underestimate the power of lingerie, darling. Then think about the setting. Maybe you transform your bedroom into a luxurious hotel room or a forbidden library. Light some candles, play some music, and let the environment transport you to another world. Remember, role play is about letting go, having fun, and exploring those hidden desires. Don't be afraid to be silly, to experiment, and to find what truly excites you both. Chapter 18. 17. Mutual masturbation. Now let's talk about something truly intimate and oh so pleasurable. Mutual masturbation. I know, some people get squeamish talking about this, but there's absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. Mutual masturbation is a beautiful way to connect with your partner, to learn about each other's bodies, and to share an incredibly erotic experience. It's about being open, being vulnerable, and sharing pleasure in its purest form. And let me tell you, there's nothing selfish about it. In fact, it can actually enhance your sex life as a couple. By watching and learning how your partner touches themselves, you gain valuable insights into what brings them pleasure. So let your inhibitions go, darlings. This is about exploring each other's bodies, sharing intimate touches, and reveling in the joy of giving and receiving pleasure. Now, some people think mutual masturbation is just a prelude to intercourse, a way to get in the mood. But let me tell you, it can be so much more than that. It can be an intimate act of its own, a way to connect on a deeper level and to experience a different kind of climax together. It's about focusing on the sensations, the touch, the intimacy of the moment. And the best part, it allows you to explore different rhythms, different pressures, different ways of touching that you might not even think of during intercourse. It's about expanding your sexual repertoire and discovering new avenues of pleasure. So don't be afraid to make it a regular part of your lovemaking. Communicate, explore, and enjoy the incredible intimacy that comes from sharing this experience with your partner. Chapter 19. 18. Erotic talk. You know, talking in the bedroom, it's not just about asking how was your day, darling. It's about whispering those sweet nothings, those little encouragements, those desires that are bubbling up inside you. Tell her how beautiful she is, how good she feels, how much you want her. And don't forget about the sounds, the moans, the sighs. These aren't just involuntary noises, my dears. They're little love letters to your partner, telling them what feels good, what you want more of. It's about creating an atmosphere of intimacy and excitement. And trust me, a little bit of erotic talk can go a long way in making her squirt. It's all about building that tension, that anticipation. So don't be shy. Let your voices mingle with the sounds of your pleasure. It's all part of the dance, the beautiful dance of lovemaking. Now, I know what you're thinking. Dr. Ruth, I'm not Shakespeare, and you know what? That's perfectly all right. You don't need to be a poet to use erotic talk. It's about finding your own voice, your own way of expressing your desire. Start slowly. Maybe whisper something in her ear during a kiss. Tell her how much you love the way she tastes, the way she smells. As you get more comfortable, you can start being more explicit, more descriptive. Remember, it's a two-way street. Encourage her to talk to you too. Ask her what she likes, what makes her feel good. The more you communicate, the better you'll understand each other's desires. And most importantly, have fun with it. Don't be afraid to experiment, to try new things. The bedroom is your playground, so let your imaginations run wild. So, you want to set the mood for a truly memorable experience, darling? It's not just about jumping into bed. Think of it like creating a romantic dinner. You wouldn't serve champagne in a coffee mug, would you? No, you set the table, light some candles, maybe put on some music. The same goes for lovemaking. Dim the lights, put on some soft music, something that relaxes both of you. And for heaven's sake, clean up the bedroom. Nothing kills the mood like dirty laundry and piles of bills. A little effort goes a long way. Think about what relaxes you and your partner. Maybe it's a warm bath together, or a glass of wine while listening to your favorite record. The point is to create a space where you both feel comfortable, relaxed, and ready for anything. Remember, setting the mood is about connecting with your partner both emotionally and physically. It's about creating a shared experience that brings you closer together. So, put in the effort, and I promise, it will be worth it. Don't underestimate the power of the senses, darlings. Think about it. A beautiful scent, a soft touch, a delicious taste. They can all ignite a spark and set the stage for something truly magical. Light some scented candles. Lavender is calming, while something like vanilla or cinnamon can be quite stimulating. Use soft fabrics on your bed, and don't forget the importance of touch. A gentle massage before things get heated up can make all the difference. And speaking of heat, make sure the temperature is just right. Too cold and you'll be shivering. Too hot and you'll be sweating. Find that perfect temperature where you're both comfortable and can fully relax. Remember, creating a sensual experience is about paying attention to the little details. It's about creating an environment that tantalizes all the senses and sets the stage for a truly unforgettable encounter. Alright darlings, so you've had your fun, but the night isn't over yet. Aftercare is just as important as everything that came before. Take some time to cuddle, to talk, to connect with your partner. Physical intimacy is wonderful, but it's the emotional connection that makes a relationship truly special. So snuggle up, relax and enjoy the afterglow. Aftercare isn't just about those few moments after intimacy. It's about maintaining that connection long after the sheets are straightened. It's about showing your partner that you care, that you're present, and that you value them both in and out of the bedroom. This could be something as simple as a loving text message during the day, a small gift, or just taking the time to listen to your partner after a long day. These small gestures go a long way in keeping the spark alive. Remember, relationships take work, but it shouldn't feel like a chore. Make an effort to keep things exciting, to try new things, to communicate openly and honestly with each other. And never, ever underestimate the power of a little romance. A little bit of effort can go a long way in keeping the flame burning bright. So go out there, darlings, and make each other happy. Well, there you have it, darlings. Remember, intimacy is a beautiful dance between two people, and like any dance, it takes practice, communication, and a willingness to try new things. Don't be afraid to experiment, to communicate your needs and desires, and most importantly, to have fun. Enjoy the journey, and remember, a little bit of knowledge can go a long way in enhancing your pleasure and deepening your connection with your partner. Now, go out there and have some fun.